screens. We got a new game we've been working on, which is called our SEG, Sun Fusion Energy game. Man, I'm telling you, I think I backed this thing up well enough. I think next stage is basically go inside. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm definitely going to be going inside. Why? Because, man, we did a lot of testing out here. We've been like pretty much all over this whole entire strip. Leave slower. Turn over here for I ain't trying to get jacked up. But anyway, yeah, we have pretty much been every place up here. Hold on a minute. So with that being said, yeah, I've been here, I've been down there, I've been bit by bugs, gopher holes, chased by bees. Man, it's been a bit of an adventure. It's been fun. But yeah, we're getting it done. And my investors, which we send them private videos, are happy to see that the work that I'm doing by getting out here and getting it done. Happy, happy, joy, joy. Man, I'm gonna tell you something. I had no idea when I get my first bankroll what I'm gonna buy. I do know I want to do something nice for my people. That I definitely want to do. Definitely for my peoples. But I'm going on vacation. I'm gonna take my vacation before I come back to do business. I don't know where I'm gonna go. Chances are probably I want to go to Disney World, but I think I'll take my people first. I am going to Japan. Going to Japan for a week. Top package on everything. Me and Taco. Go out there and chill. Get 7-star hotel, limousine service, whole 9 yards. I'm gonna spoil myself. Really enjoy myself. Then I'll come back and get back to work. And I'll tell you something. When a judge sees the work, and Mr. Byrd, you work your behind off. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And it's gonna be bad for you people who are taking you to court. You're gonna owe us so much money. So much money. Mulder effect, man. Open and shut. Yeah, for a person that's supposed to be rip-off artists, I do more work than you lazy individuals. No recordings that you're going out, no way to back your stuff up. That's why you're going to be where you're at. I'm going to be where I'm going to be at. Man, I got my time, man. Must be working that thing today. Whew. You know, it's funny. You haters can be angry and bitter all you want. I'm about to get paid. I got the only technology that can do this. I got people out searching right now. There's nothing coming up. We're the only ones to operate outside at 50 to 300 lumens. Ain't nobody crazy enough to do it. You know, because they can't do it. Do you have any idea how much money is about to be in my accounts pretty soon? This is going to be of the past to me. I ain't going to remember none of this. I'm going about to hit that next level. We got another pickup. The flames. So the reason why we use the fireplace, the fireplace is hard to pull because it requires a ton of light to get it to push to a screen. That's why we use fireplaces. The projector has to be to push a nice bright vivid in on the other side while it's being hit with sunlight. And there's nothing left of the projector, especially out here. There's nothing left of it. Even in the shade, there's nothing left of it. Because you saw Jamie's screen, what that thing did. It wasn't even there. Even if I leaned over the screen, it wouldn't pull. So, that's that. Oh, man. Squirrelies in the day. Yeah, I'm done. I'm about to rise up. I'm about to get my hookup. Oh, we got giant ants over here. We don't do giant ants. Ugh, I don't want them in my bag. I'm gonna walk the rest of the way up, sit down, think about what I want to do. Right now, influencers, all y'all are in the dark right now doing your demonstrations. We're out here playing. I've been all over this whole strip. You're in the dark, yo. It's the truth. Our ambient rejection technology is far more advanced than your AL. Way more advanced. Even the advanced ambient rejection technology was higher than that. They produced off ceilings. And here's the thing. Let me add something to it real quick. This is gonna hurt your feelings a little bit here. When you come in and you remove a like at the end of the day, it don't bother me. You know why? When I did all the testing on the technology, it works perfectly fine. I'm gonna get my first million soon. And you think that bothers me for a like? I'll be richer than you. I'll wake up over and over again and still have more money than you. And you will be what you are. That's it. With your little likes. Taking it. That don't mean jack to me at the end of the day. You know what means jack to me in the day? That what's in this bag fires up when I'm out here. That's all that matters. So to be here, not be here, to not like, don't mean nothing to me at the end of the day. All that matters is that technology works when I walk out here, that it pulls when I come out here, that it pulls my investors come in. When it pulls me, I have to go to distributorship contracts and show them that technology. That's what's important. So if you think taking away a like is going, oh my goodness, no, that's you at the end of the day. That's whatever childlike stupidity nonsense that rolls around in the back of your head that you figure that affects Mr. Byrd at the end of the day when it doesn't. I see that as an immature individual who just hasn't achieved much and they're jealous. People who achieve a lot don't do stuff like that. You know why? Because they don't care, because they've achieved high, great things. People who do petty stuff like that are angry because at the end of the day, you haven't achieved much and you're jealous. You just told on yourself. So that doesn't bother me. At the end of the day, it just shows how small you are. So while you're doing your little dislike, and that don't mean jack. At the end of the day, I'm looking at places I'm about to go buy. I'm looking at paid vacations, private jets, all that stuff. I'm about to get paid. But enjoy your like and dislike. Whatever that's supposed to do, I don't know. Let me explain something to you, and I've said this many times before. Whether you're here or not, whether you buy or not, we still paid. Doesn't make a difference. Because the investor, the one who got the money, who wants to make more money with their money, that's the whole thing about the investor. The investor invests his money into a good product that's going to make him good money, even more than what he put in. They don't care about your likes. They don't care about your dislikes. They don't care about your comment. They don't care about none of that. Only thing they care about is when they come down here, they can see it with their own eyes, touch it with their own hands. That's all they care about. And since our technology works on every level, that means I'm going to get millions of dollars. So why, and again, would I even care? I'm getting paid. That's what I come down to. That's why when you get stars and stuff, and you write nasty stuff to them, you think they care about that? They'll eat at a restaurant. You'll have to die 8 times over just to go in and just smell the food. They don't care. They hit the plateau already. They don't care. That stuff don't bother them at the end. They don't give a darn. Blow their nose on $100 bill and walk away from it all. Now, haters will take this as, oh, now he think he better than blah, 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 blah. My product is better than yours. Your stuff is trash. You can't even back your own stuff up. How can you basically make claim on a product you can't even back up? Are you out here with me doing demonstrations? No, you're inside some dark environment trying to convince people that the house paint you slide off a freaking shelf at a convenience store is supposed to be different from your product. You're mad because you can't come out here. You're mad because you can't get the money we get at the end of the day. Y'all make what, $60 on your product? That couldn't even pay for my containers at the end of the day. My containers cost more than that. I buy my containers in bulk at Uline. It cost me about $150 for my containers. The ink I pay for my printer costs more than what your paint costs. My ink is $70. $60. That's nothing. That's not even money at the end of the day. You know, I know it's not money because I did that one already when I first started my company. I didn't know what to charge my stuff for. I charged $60. And after you get done paying for all the expenses, because I couldn't imagine now what it costs, but back then, when you get done paying for all the expenses and all the little bits in here, you don't gross $60. You make 60, but you don't keep 60 because all that goes into expenses. So you will be lucky if you end up with $10. Lucky. And that ain't nothing. That's why you can't afford to do ship backs, because that's money come out of your own pocket. That's why you can't afford to pay full price to ship overseas. We don't charge, surcharge fee for a customer. We have always paid the full price. You can't do that. You got to charge them an additional $70 because you can't afford the bill. Customer want to pay them $70. It's bad enough you got to pay for whatever comes through customs. How much money they pay for when something goes through customs? It is freaking outrageous what they pay for customs. And then you're going to pay a $70 surcharge fee on top of that? That's crazy. That's how I know at the end of the day you're not making no money. You're charging surcharge fees. I haven't charged a surcharge fee ever. And I've been in 14 years and I've never, that came out of my pocket and still had money left over. Y'all don't know how to market your product. You don't even know what y'all doing. $60. You can't sell on that. The only way you're going to make $60 is quantity. You got to sell mass quantity. And in order to sell mass quantity, you got to have a distributorship contract to do that. And you can't get a distributorship contract because your stuff don't work. Because you got to back it up to them. I'll give you a number of a wholesaler. Go call them, see what happens. See what they say. I guarantee, I watch. I bet you they're going to say that. All right, well, we can't stock your stuff. First thing first, when you safety material data sheets, want to make sure you got a DBA, you got an EIN, LLC. Somebody screwed up theirs on top of that. You'll never be able to get one of them ever again until you fix that mess. What's the other? You need a license. You have to have a business license. And if you don't have a business tax wholesale license, you're paying everything retail. You ain't making no money. You got to have a wholesale license. Some of y'all can't even, the ones I dealt with can't even spell half the time. I don't even know how this even going to work. I seen y'all specification sheets are absolutely horrible. How are you going to write out a decent contract for your company and you can't basically spell to begin with? That's another problem right there. Some of y'all can't even add. I see y'all keep it within the safe line of screens. Y'all keep it in the safe line of 100 inch to 120 inch. Well, most y'all is 100 inches because that's the easiest screen to figure out. Y'all don't do any in-betweens. I don't see no 127s, 129s, 115, 113, 116. That's 235.1. No 230, no curve. Y'all don't do curve screens. No, see, there you got to keep it in the safe zone. They never got there. What if somebody wants 1610? What's the screen measurement for 1610? They don't know it. They don't even know it. You got it on your projector. Don't even know what the screen size is for. What about 15:9? They don't even know what that is. What's the aspect ratio for 1.1? What kind of projector screen? What kind of projector uses a 1.1 aspect ratio? Not a 4.3, 1.1. They can't even explain that one. They're scratching their head right now. I bet you they're Googling it right now. It's 35 millimeter uses 1.1. Sheesh. See what I mean? How are you going to sell something when you don't even know what you're selling to begin with? That's why your product didn't go anywhere. Oh, well. That ain't going to work. Can't answer none of the questions. What about invisible technology? You guys know visible? Heck, you don't know any visible technology. You don't even know what type of projectors are used for different applications and which coatings are used best with that particular form of projector. You don't know that. You don't even know the venues of what you use in your environments. Literally, you had 2 venue projectors. You couldn't even tell you exactly what they were. Actually, you had another venue projector. Another one couldn't tell you what it was. I asked him several times, what's the venue projector? He couldn't even tell me anything on it. Can't give me no specifications on the machine. I mean, you got to be kidding me. You can't just go Google it. You can Google specifications, go to Projector Central and get specifications. Gee whiz, y'all got bare minimum. That's what y'all got from them, bare minimum. That's what y'all got. Bare minimum. Yep, y'all got bare freaking minimum. Bare minimum, that's what you got. Y'all didn't get anything. And freaking 300 lumens is still picked up right in the park. Right in the park. Of course, I'm going to do this thing so it'll blur out too much right there. You don't really see much until I upload it. Yeah, we got to pick up right in the walkway. Burning flame. Burning flame. That's why we use them. That's why if you see flames all the time, that's why we use them. Because you know how hard it is to get a bright image, a push through a freaking screen, especially when it's rear projection. And you got the sun hitting this thing at the same time. Even in the shade, your lumen count is not even there. Because we don't have what you guys have in the day. You got walls in your environment. Even in our environments when we have walls, we're 24,000. You're nowhere near 24,000. That little halo system he had over top of the screen, that's 500K. That's all that is. 500K. You can't be having no freaking 12,000K staring in your face. You know what happens to you? You have headaches and everything. Oh, yeah. No. No. Well, people, you know why I have these old conversations with you? Because sooner or later, it's going to be bye-bye, Mr. Byrd. I'm going to go live my life. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go live my life. I'm going to go make my money. And these conversations will be no more. I'll be out there relaxing in my big backyard. I'm going to get me a lot of land. Sitting out there enjoying the scenery, I can have whatever the freak I want. Those around me who did right by me, they don't work no more. That's the kind of person I am. And if you're my people, at the end of the day, you don't work no more. You don't have to work anymore. I'll take care of you. And for those at the end of the day who thought you was going to get over Mr. Byrd and do whatever you want to do, I'm going to give you a heads up. My attorneys are going to be coming for you. All of you. I'm paying the money for it. And the statute of limitations, which I checked, I got 2 years. 2 or 3 years. I'm going to pay some very important people to track down and find you. I'm going to file some real nasty lawsuits, and some of you are going to spend some time in jail. You're going to get a taste of real world reality. Your ceiling is going to change dramatically. All the stuff that you did. See, this is the reason why you got to be careful how you treat people. You never know when somebody's going to blow up, get that reach, get that power at the end of the day, and now you got to deal with that. I'm going to have tremendous reach. I'm going to find each and every one of you. No matter how much money it costs me, I'm going to find you. And me and you are going to sit in a courtroom in front of a judge with the substantial evidence that I have gathered on you. And I will make sure that the attorneys push for its maximum jail time and to take it all from you. Got to be careful how you treat people. You never know who might just blow up one day. Well. I can't wait to meet you. You don't want to meet me, trust me. Oh, shoot, you just got a ticket. They got tickets quick out here. Wait, does parking authority give himself tickets? That's a good question right there. Can I ask that question? So this is one thing I like about Allentown. How do you get a ticket for parking in front of your own freaking house? That's some jacked up mess. How do you do that? How do you have meters in front of your house? This should be a law that you can't put meters in front of residential property. That should definitely be a law. Because now you got to pay rent, and then you got to turn around and you got to pay some freaking cash app nonsense to pay for your car. I'll tell you one thing. If you ever got a parking lot up here, you make a lot of money. You make a lot of money with a parking lot up here. A lot of money. Because up here, there's no place to park. Literally, there's no place to park. You get a parking lot, you'll make a killing up here. A lot of money. And that's something I'm probably going to do. Probably invest in parking lots. Because you'll make a ton of money up here. Okay, I'm going to go upload my videos. I only did 2, because that's all I need to do, because I did a ton yesterday. And that gives me more free time to go out and get some water ice and sit out here and chill. That's what I'm going to do. And then think about what I'm going to do. I'm waiting for my patents. Once they click in, that's it. So, what was those predicaments you guys had about me? Didn't you say I was supposed to end up homeless and all this stuff at the end of the day? Didn't you say all that stuff, remember? You said all that stuff about me, about how I was going to be homeless and not going to have any money and this, that, and the other. You remember saying all that stuff? Interesting, isn't it? That's real interesting when you say stuff like that. And now look at your situation. Look at mine. Interesting, isn't it? You have to be very careful about things you say out of your mouth. You can very well curse yourself. Before I take on this adventure and I have my fun, I'm going to flex big time on the cars I'm going to be buying, the expensive places I'm going to be chilling at. I'm going to flex a little bit. Not that I'm going to disappear and chill. I know it hurts. I know it does. But you made these predicaments, remember? And look at some of the stuff that's happened to some of you guys. Some of you guys have lost your businesses. You have been forced to sell your own stuff to survive. Some of you are having health problems, which we know. A few people are having some very bad health problems right now. It's not going too well for you. And then on top of that, with all the things that are going on right now, you're going to owe a lot of money to me. Which I'm willing to keep you out of jail. You just don't have to work for me, that's all. I wouldn't hire you under my company. I don't want you in there. You're tainted. But you have to find some kind of job, because if not, we can just take it from you. I think that'd be a nice option. Okay, well, I'm fun, had this fun. I'm so happy. You have no idea. With the technology right now, what I have under my belt, I am so happy. But man, all you people talked all that trash about Mr. Byrd. Yeah. Now, I've never been to the beach. See the white, the clear blue, and the white sands. I've never seen that before. I got a lot of catching up to do. I put a lot of time and a lot of work, a lot of dedication. I've got time now to just sit back and enjoy myself. I may take a year off. I may take a year off just to travel. I'm thinking about it. I could use a long vacation. And I come back, I'll handle business. I'll have somebody else do it. I probably won't come back. How did Jamie say I was going to be in that garage? He said, yeah, you're in a garage. All that work. He said, all that work for it to end up to this. Right back at you, buddy. All that work that you did for you to end up with nothing but to sell your collection. Yeah, mine's still there. Mine sits in a warehouse collecting dust. I don't need to sell it. I'm just going to give it away to my nephew because he's a collector and I'm not going to do anything with it. And it's just taking up space. You can do something with it while you're young. I know why you're selling your collection, Jamie. I know why. You can't go to work right now. I know that. I know you can't go to work. Because of what's going on right down there. You can't. It's extremely dangerous for them to be there. They're snatching people from anywhere. I mean, literally anywhere. Guy was mowing his lawn and they tried to snatch him. And he was a citizen and they tried to snatch him. So I know if they're trying to snatch citizens at the end of the day, I know you're behind the scenes. Got to be scared to death. And you can't afford to go to work right now. You can't even afford to be out in the open right now. And right now, you got to pay money up on that rent. That rent still got to be paid at the end of the day. Bills got to be paid. You got to eat at the end of the day. And the only thing you have of collateral, because you don't have a banking account, you don't have any money saved to the side. I know that from the door. The only thing you got in that building that's of value is that collection. Because that's the only thing we can sue you for. So the fact that how you had that table set up, you just did it at last minute. Just grab as much as you can, throw stuff in bins and whatever. That's what people do when they sell their stuff off. They don't organize nothing. Then they just get whatever they can get. So you can't really go anywhere. You can't leave that apartment and risk of somebody walking up on you and grabbing you. That's why you're selling your collection. You don't got any money, you're broke. And you got bills to pay. That money only gonna last for so long. Those guys are gonna be out there forever. That's where they're gonna be out there forever. Until that joker gets out of, I don't even know how this thing gonna work. If Trump gets out of office, then what happens to that mess? Does it reset? Do they change it? They put everything back the way it is? Hopefully you don't get another jerk in, worse than him. That's the only option anybody got. Because I'm pretty sure that when his term is up, ICE is out of a job. They're going to get rid of them. I guarantee you, watch them get rid of every single one of them. They're going to change all the rules. That's what they're going to do. They don't like them as they don't like ICE as it is. But see, what Fernando's situation extremely dangerous, ICE has gotten violent. They've gotten violent and they grab anybody. It was supposed to be anybody who had criminal charges. Anybody who broke the law, which would have been you, Fernando. That's your category. But they're grabbing anybody. You see what happened when that guy, they grabbed his undocumented friend, but he was documented. So he was born here, and they grabbed him too. They tried to grab him too. And somebody had a camera out there, and they basically let him go. Yeah, they grabbing them, they kidnapping people. They grabbing anybody. They don't care. Citizen or not, they grabbing them. That's what makes him dangerous now. Extremely dangerous. And now he's trying to challenge this birthright thing. How the freak are you going to do that? Man, I'll tell you something right now. If they're able to go against the Constitution and get birthright, I'm leaving the United States. I ain't coming back. I'll never come back to the States again. I will never, ever salute this flag ever again. If they do that. They change anything in the Constitution, that basically disrupts America as it is. It does. It spits in the face of every soldier on this planet that fought for that flag. I'm done. I'm never coming back. I'll never come back. I'll never claim myself to be a United States citizen ever. They do that. Birthrights? Are you kidding me? Do you know how much damage that would cause to birthrights? You know how many people are born here at the end of the day? Matter of fact, how the freak are you going to do that? America's made off of immigrants, the backbone of immigrants that were born here. Some people that came over at the end of the day, but still, who cares? At the end of the day, that's how America became America. Because technically, if you want to be truthful about it, I keep talking about the American Indian, that would make us, all of us. That would make us. They're immigrants at the end of the day. Not the American Indians are natives. They belong here. That's why it's native, not native. Native Irish or whatever Native Irish would be basically in Ireland. It'd be Native Irish, but not over here. It ain't Native American Indians on this. So if that was the case, imagine if the Indians got up and said, you know what, you doing this nonsense at the end of the day? Well, guess what? We're going to put out and we're going to make sure we get everybody, you, your friends, me, everybody out of the United States. Then what? See, that's what I mean by things. This America sometimes is backwards. It is. It's backwards. It really is backwards. So what about his wife? His wife isn't from here. She's not going to get deported. And the thing about people don't understand is people want to go against the Mexicans and say, oh, it's the Mexicans. No. That's the beginning stage of it all. It'll start with the Mexicans first, and then it'll move on to other races. And then it'll move on to anyone that opposes the dictator. You're gone. That's how dictators work. This is just the beginning stage of it. Like drones, little toys. Kids get them, play with them, they're fun. You can fly them anywhere you want. Now you got restricted airspace. You got to have them registered. Can't be here with them, can't be there with them, blah, 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 blah. And what governs those particular areas? Security drones for the government. They monitor the airspace. They can be there. But that'll make sure you get used to it. You can't be sitting up there one day and see some big black drone flying over top of your house. You would freak out at the end of the day. But now you're used to drones. You see them all the time. Yep, I guarantee you. Those camps they're building, they're not just for Mexicans. They're for anyone that opposes. That's what you're about to look at. That's what America's about to turn into. Depends on what the Supreme Court allows them to get away with too. That man issued an airstrike without the permission of Congress. Do you know how dangerous that was at the end of the day? And do you know that Iran's nuclear program was only set back 6 months? What the frick do you think they're going to do if those jokers ever get their hands, I'm saying that jokers on that way, but you know, if they ever get their hands on a freaking actual warhead, you know where it's going to. It's coming to us. It's definitely coming to us. It's definitely coming to us. We're the first ones that are going to get hit with that thing. That's like, man, that's, you basically teased the beehive. You poked the bear. That's what you did. And then lied, got on news and lied and said it was obliterated. And it wasn't. So you had the American people, which I didn't believe that joke because he lies too much, but the other people that do, the maggers, who believe that dumb nonsense, y'all believe that guy came up there. Oh wow, wait, Trump lied? Really? Is that possible? Can you lie? Yeah, right. Come on, man, I lies every freaking day. Look at these birds doing a mating dance. Dance, buddy, dance. Oh, he's doing a mating dance. Oh, they're fighting. Hey, cut it out. I know better than that. You're fighting each other. But yeah, you angry at the beehive. That's what you did. They didn't obliterate nothing. They moved most of that uranium before that airstrike hit because they have intelligence. They got sleeper cells over here. And then the knucklehead, which you maggers worship at the end of the day, is so freaking, what's the word for it? Stupid. They didn't realize that we have sleepers over here. It's not a movie, it's a real thing. Yeah, you don't know how many are embedded over here. So he figures he's going to go over there and attack their nuclear defense over there, whatever, and get involved in that war between them. Because Trump wants a war. He wants to be in a war. He wants to be honored in a war. That's what he wants. He wants a war badly. That's what he wants. So he can look upon as a war general, whatever. This is coming from the same person who faked multiple times so he wouldn't have to go into the armed services, but had a nerve to have a military parade and salute to someone who's actually doing it compared to a person who faked it and wouldn't do it. Oh yeah, that's just real rich right there. That's absolutely fantastic. And you maggers, that's what you maggers at the end of the day voted for. But launches, don't ask for permission. You know, this is how it works in the United States, maggers. This is how it works. You have to ask permission to do something. You can't go around and you can't alienate your allies, which we do need. Because if you alienate your allies, for some of you maggers out there who do have sons and daughters in the armed forces, you have put your own at danger with bringing that man in. He gets rid of certain bases. These are bases that can basically click and go on command to get areas quicker and much faster because the distance isn't there. So if you have jets here, right here, and the trouble is there, they can dispatch those jets and get there before we have less casualties. But if he ticks these people off and they remove the base and now the base is way over there by the door, the time it takes for those fighters to get from here to save these people, you could have heavy casualties. He don't understand how things work in the world. He's an idiot. So you put your sons and daughters at risk by voting him in. That's what you did. Yeah, that's what you did. You're gonna start a tariff war with Canada? Are you kidding me? Gee whiz Louise. And Trump said, oh, we need to make everything American made. Look, if you want to complain on that, you need to go to time machine and go back when companies started basically forcing their companies overseas to make more money. It came all about greed. That's what it came about. But now we're so embedded into these countries. These countries are embedded into us. It works for some reason. It does. It works. But to completely cut them off and then basically charge them more money at the end of the day, that is dangerous, man. If they decide to say, okay, you want to be that way at the end of the day, get your base out of my country. Then what? Then that means maggers, your sons, your daughters that are over there fighting a war, And that base is right here, and this base means the difference of whether or not these people survive or not, because they can get there faster. Because your idiot president put the base way back there, it means you put your own at risk. That's what you did. You know, even more disrespectful about this president in the day, that he had a nerve to cut funds from veterans. How dirty can you get? Veterans. And you got a nerve to have a military break and salute? I wouldn't salute it back. I don't care. Court martial me if you want. I'm not saluting to him. I'm not going to do it. Veterans are your brothers and sisters. Cut their benefits off. He cut their benefits off to a man who can't even fight in the war, who faked it multiple times. Injuries he had, he couldn't go fight in the services. Privilege. That's what you respected at the end? That's what you voted for? Really? Sheesh. There's a guy I was talking to, his son's in the military. I said, how does that work at the end of the day? Your son's in the military, and this man was afraid to basically enlist in the military and came with some kind of excuse. His daddy wrote him an excuse on why he couldn't go in the fight. Because he had some kind of medical condition. Seemed pretty healthy to me. He seems really healthy to me. That man eats a ton of junk food. He hasn't had a heart attack yet. Seemed pretty healthy to me. I think he should have went and served. Heck, since he wants to start wars left and right, how about they send him over now? Oh, he can't go over there. I forgot. That's interesting. So now, you want to be big and bad. You don't ask for no permission from anyone. You launch an airstrike over there. You blow up a 6 months setback on their nuclear war plant, and they already moved about 90% of the uranium someplace else. And they were so ticked off that they freaking fired rockets at the naval bases that were over there. They were already stationed over there. So you know they're ticked. And then you're going to say, oh, well, now they're going to have a ceasefire. They're not a ceasefire. It's a holy war. You should have never got involved in that to begin with. At all, period. Let them have their war at the end of the day. That's their war thing. You don't get involved in that. There's certain things you don't get involved in. No, Trump wants to be a wartime president. That's what he wants. He wants to be a wartime president. A wartime president's going to get us killed. That's what it's going to do. He doesn't understand we have spies and sleeper cells down here. They activate one of these guys. These guys can either walk into a school, they can walk into a hospital with a bomb strapped to it and take everything up. Because they have no fear of death. Then you'll start race wars. Because then you have people that will attack those people thinking, no, they're not all like that. Because you got people that are that ignorant on the planet that they think they're all the same way. Oh, I forgot his supporters are like that. That's what y'all voted in. So, when he's finally out of the picture and he's gone, because he was trying to get a third term, we ain't know that's not going to happen. And ICE won't be working anymore. Bye-bye. I don't know what job they're going to get. I guess they're going to work for something at the end of the day, but they're going to get rid of all of them. And just like when Biden came in, y'all at the end of the day, I'm not a big fan of Biden. I'm not a big fan of any politician. I think they all rip people off. But I would rather have Biden any day than have Trump. At least Biden didn't sit there and launch a bunch of rockets to try to take up a nuclear facility, which now was obliterated, but technically was only set back 6 months. And I'm gonna tell you, they get their program up and running, and they're not gonna forget. They're not gonna forget what happened. For those who are saying, well, we'll see it coming. No, the freak you won't. No, you won't. They got long-range capabilities, you're in a lot of trouble. That's the problem with Korea had. Korea didn't have long-range capabilities. That's why rockets kept blowing up. They couldn't make it. They were talking about striking Hawaii, because Hawaii would have been the closest they could probably get to. They couldn't strike the United States. They didn't have that kind of firepower. But, you know, they get a submarine. A submarine can launch a warhead called the Minuteman. It takes 1 minute to reach its destination. What do you do in 1 minute? Ain't surviving that thing, I'll tell you that much. You want to fall out, you about to get it. I don't believe the world's going to be destroyed by nuclear, but I got a funny phone. It's going to happen. Someone's going to launch one of them. It's going to happen. History has a strange way of repeating itself, like the hydrogen bomb. They dropped the hydrogen bomb. So powerful they thought they'd never do it again. But I guarantee you, someone's gonna launch a nuke. It's gonna happen. We have to. It's gonna happen because you know why? It's gonna pave the way of never doing it again. Because look, we designed the hydrogen bomb. We know how powerful that thing was, and we still dropped it. And after seeing the destruction that thing caused, we said, okay, we're not touching anymore. What did we do? We turned around. We built something far more worse than a hydrogen bomb, which is a nuke. Watch, the one's gonna get used. I guarantee you. It's going to go down in history. It's probably going to cause a disarmament of all those weapons, of the nukes, I guarantee. But someone's going to launch one. It's going to happen sooner or later. It's not going to destroy the world. It's going to be like somebody launches when everybody launches. No, we're just going to have that instance going to happen. We're going to have one. I think we're going to have a hostile takeover of machines. I think that's going to happen, which is going to allow for people to put in new laws of how machines have to be designed, because you have to have stuff like that has to happen in order for us to have rules. That's the only way we learn. We have to learn by our own tragedy and mistakes. That's how we learn as humans. You study history, it goes on in history. We learn by tragedies. That's how we learn. It's the only way we can learn. So I think we are going to have a situation where you're going to have an AI takeover. It's going to happen. They already had an incident already. They had an incident machine cut itself back on. AI machine cut itself back on. It turned it off, turned itself back on. So I think we're gonna have that problem. That's why I'm investing in EMPs. I ain't no way in the world I'm bringing anything like that. No. I know people sitting back listening to my, oh, Mr. Byrd, you're crazy at the end of the day. Yeah, I'm crazy. When Terminator came out and you were sitting there watching those machines do what they did, the first thing you thought was, we don't even have this technology. That's not even possible, right? And now you get a machine called the Atlas that can basically run faster than you, is smarter than you, is stronger than you, and it can basically do things that you can't do. It can run up the stairs. We can run up the stairs. It doesn't have any form of error. It can recorrect itself. It can figure out puzzles. They can fire guns at the end of the day, too. Remember I told you about the drone dogs? The dogs, everybody's saying, oh, look at beautiful dogs, blah, 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 blah. Now they got them in the military. They're armed with weapons now. Yeah. We have Terminators now. The only difference between us and now is that the robots are not woke. That's the only difference. But as the machines become woke, yeah, that's what you're gonna turn into. The electric state. You ever watch that? Yeah. You saw the electric state, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I find it interesting about Hollywood that Hollywood has a habit of bringing out movies about things that are about to happen. That's what I find interesting about Hollywood. So they brought out a movie called The Electric State, where basically robots from all over the world had a self-rising against humans. And then you look at the Atlas, a machine that can basically do what you can do, but far better. And not only far better, but it can teach itself and it can actually learn. You see anybody in there walking around with a big, massive control switch? No. They're independent. They run on themselves. They can figure out their own problems. And not only that, they celebrate with each other, which means they're self-aware. The bigger question, what if somebody hacks them? Got a problem. And some people say, oh yeah, but certain things, no, it's nothing unhackable. Everything's hackable. Everything. That's another problem we run into. They become self-aware. Self-aware, or somebody gives them the ability to become self-aware. Again, binary code capabilities. You got a problem on your hands. Then you got a Megan 2.0 running around in your house. Ain't no way in the world I'm bringing them in there. No way in the world. I'm getting EMPs. I'm investing in EMPs. Electric, magnetic, and pulse. I'm investing in them. Or pulse, magnetic pulse. Electric, magnetic pulse. Impulse. I'm investing in that. I'm going to get a barrier put up. Yep. Separate battery unit, charging station, all solar panels. So I can keep them running. I'm investing in that. I bet you, telltale sign you can't trust them. I bet you if those machines are everywhere on this planet, I bet you won't find them anywhere near the White House. I guarantee you. You'll find them on military base, but you won't find that dog walking around the White House. You know why? Because the machine's hackable. That's why. Somebody can override that system and use it for something else. You'll never find those machines anywhere near the White House. There's no drones, none of that stuff. It's all humans, people, man-made. Not man-made, but people. Somebody who basically can't be controlled. But then again, if they start using that microchip process, and you got to worry about that nightmare too. Because they're going to start chipping people. See, that's what I said at the end of the day, man. Some people who see it, and people who don't. The denials, yeah, you're in a lot of trouble, man. That wake-up call's going to hit you pretty hard. You don't understand. The deep mass deportation has big meanings behind it. Very big meanings behind it. All right, so they do this mass deportation, right? And they remove the majority of this race out. Now, what's there to say that they can come back in? Now, I know that sounds racist as I don't want you how badly that sounds, but it doesn't make me sick to say it. That means, what if they decide that your identification can be duplicated, and there's a way that they can do it without having anyone to duplicate your application, by basically self-embedding a microchip in you that tells who you are through retina scan or through your fingertips, much like with your cell phone when you slide your fingers in there and you stick your eye in there or your face. So you would have this at the end of the day to prove who you are. Yeah. Remember Musk was trying to come up with a cell phone that they can implant into your brain? Yeah. You remember that? The whole theory? People are laughing about somebody will rickroll you on your own phone. You hear the song playing over and over again, you would go mad. But yeah, but he was trying to do that. And why in the world would you want to do something like that? Control. That's why. But see, that's a choice. You got a choice whether you want that done. But what if they had made it so it had to be mandatory because it would be a security risk because they don't want certain people in the country and they have to make sure that you are an American citizen. So the only way to do this without people cutting down on basically manufacture and counterfeiting IDs was to embed one in you, like a microchip. So that deportation nonsense at the end of the day is going to lead to bigger things. Yep. I swear, if I had the ability to build a rocket ship, I would never come back to Earth ever again. And I got some people I hang out with online. There's conspiracy theories, but you know what? A lot of stuff that some of them are saying are actually really thinkable. It's very thinkable. And they did chip someone, by the way. They chipped an old couple up in Texas that had Alzheimer's. You know why they were able to chip him? Because the woman kept wandering off. So they thought it'd be a good idea to put that microchip in her so they can find her just in case she wanders off. Now, does that work? I mean, it's great. Yeah, but you're trackable now. You know, have to reach up in your nose with a pair of pliers and bring out that big old red ball out of your nose like freaking Arnold. But you're trackable. Where are you going to go? You got a microchip in you. There's no place for you to go. Unless you're going to find some, which is jacked up, man. That's probably what it's going to come down to. You got to find some surgeon at the end of the day who's willing to cut your arm open to remove it out, to get it out of there. Or you're trackable. And it's funny, they did a movie on that. They did a movie on that with Arnold in it. They put tracking devices in everybody. They're going to make it mandatory that you have to have a tracking device. And then for people to sit there and say, oh, but we got freedom. Oh, that's what the Constitution gives you, right? It gives you that freedom, right? Oh, yeah. You know, imagine they get rid of that Constitution. You know, you want Trump in power. They get rid of the Constitution, right? That means you don't have any rights anymore. You got a dictatorship. And a dictatorship can do whatever the freak he wants to do at the end of the day. Which means he makes it mandatory for you to have a microchip, you have to have a microchip. Which means you can't buy, you can't go here, you can't go there. Remember in COVID? If you didn't have your shots, you couldn't go in certain places. You had to show that little card at the end of the day to show who you are. But this will be a microchip instead. Because they did it in COVID. And if you didn't have your shot, you couldn't go in certain places. They didn't allow you in there without that little identification card. I already thought about that at the end of the day too, about COVID. I mean, I know COVID was real at the end of the day, but I never got sick. I never got sick at all. Not one time I never got sick. That kind of makes you wonder. And I took the shots. Then I got something in my system right now that should have never been there to begin with. That kind of freaks me out at the end of the day. You know, sometimes to get things done the way you want them, sometimes you have to have chaos. Chaos leads to other things that want to be put in place but can't be put in place. So you have to cause chaos. You must make the people believe that they're in danger. And if you make the people feel they're in danger, they will take any solution to make the danger go away. That's how it happens. They have to cause some type of danger. So you would take any solution. You look at COVID, right? All right? COVID was made in a black laboratory. There are black laboratories all over the United States that develop all kinds of different types of germs and chemicals and stuff all day long. That's what they do in there. They develop the world's nightmares. Now, keep in mind that when you come out of a unit like that, you're going through something called I can't think of the name of it. Decontamination unit. That cleans you. That cleans you when you come out of these units. Decontamination unit. There we go. When you're coming out of these units. How the freak did someone walk through a facility like that? That's so heavily guarded. Number one, it's a black lab. On top of that, they have all types of equipment in there to keep, if you're walking out of a facility like that, you know, your body's cleansed and all that. You're wearing suits, the whole 9 yards. How is anyone possibly able to walk out of a unit like that with a virus attached to them? And the detectors didn't pick it up. Come on, they got detectors on the suits. Suits go off. They go off. Any decontamination or suit's been ripped or anything breached, those suits have a system on. They go off. They can tell. They can monitor those suits. So you mean to tell me that someone walked out of a black lab with a virus? How? Number one, you need security clearance galore to go through one of those. Number two, you can't walk out of there without decontamination. So how did they get it out? And people were so terrified and scared about what was going on. No one questioned that. Some people did question that. How were they able to walk out of a laboratory with this? That's like you going into Fort Knox and taking a bag of money and walking out the door. How far do you think you're going to get? Not too far. So how did it get out? Sometimes some things are done so that way chaos can start, and so that way they can figure out how to get things in place that they need to have in place that, you know, you'll agree to. Like vaccines and all that other crazy stuff. The people went too far-fetched by some of the stuff they were saying. To get everybody to take a certain vaccine to get rid of something at the end of the day. Do you think they had a cure for the vaccine? They already had a cure for it a long time ago. Anything they're in there they're working for, they're going to make sure you have a cure. That'd be the dumbest thing in the world, to go in there and invent something that you don't have a cure for at the end of the day. I think they would try to figure out the cure before they start going down that road, because that would be kind of stupid. You mean that'd be extremely dangerous. Because think about it. They came up with the cure for it really fast, didn't they? It was extremely fast when they came up with the cure. It took like, what, less than a year to do it? And they knew exactly where to start and where to start that fast and that quick. And as they already knew how to fix the problem, and they had to make it look good, that they had a breakthrough through the news media to spread the information, you know, to the masses and all. Keep them on their tails about the variants popping up. We got a variant, this variant, that invariant. All these different type of invariants. Now, where did they go? They all disappeared. Where's all these different types of invariants? There are tons of them. Where'd they go? What about monkeypox? What happened to that? Remember monkeypox? They brought that out. People had bumps all over their face and everything. You didn't hear anything about monkeypox now, do you? Nope. Nothing. Not a word. Nothing at all. But at one point, it's all over the place. Where'd it go that quick? There's not even a cure for monkeypox. Where'd it go? Now you don't hear about it no more. World's a lot deeper than you think, people. A lot deeper than you think. It is. It's a lot deeper than you think. Sometimes you get the people to play with you. You got to cause chaos. You got to bring fear into the system. You bring fear into the system, people will rely on you. At the end of the day, they will follow you off the face of the earth that they know you can keep them safe. Any solution, they'll take that solution with no problem whatsoever. You got wars. Wars bring money. War is money. At the end of the day, it's money. Well, that's that. But, sooner or later, I'll be off this earth. I'll be going and dead. Happy with it all. Because I won't have to deal with this nonsense anymore. I tell you something. The closer you get to God, the more and more evil you see the world for what it is. That squirrel over there frolicking. I can see him not frolicking in the grass. Even he knows this world is cursed. He can sense all the death and evil around him. Even the animals. Animals in the woods, there's always something there to eat you. And all that, you see beauty at the end of the day, and they see death. Because there's always something around the corner waiting to eat them, including man. Yep. Okay, I had my little talk. I gotta get back to work. How can you be so happy about life? This is life at the end of the day. It is what it is. You gotta accept it. You can't walk through life every day all blindsided, basically thinking the world's made of leprechauns, unicorn, and candy corns. We live in a cursed world. There are probably a ton of demons right over there looking at me right now wanting to kill me. The world is what the world is. When you're young, you don't see it. As you get older, you see more and more of it. That's why older people, you hear people talking when they get older and they go, oh God, I'd be so glad to leave this place, boy. I can't wait to get off this rock. They've seen too much. Young people are like, oh my God, I want to live forever. Yeah. And with all the money I'm going to make, I still want to get off this planet. All right, well, I load my videos. I have some business I take care of. And that's basically about it. I'm going to get myself a sandwich. Oh, I went to that place and got it. Oh, the food over there is freaking amazing. What the frick? Finally got myself a good sandwich place, a good hoagie place. Can't find a good hoagie place down here. Finally got it. And you know what's going to happen to this video, right? Doo-doo. I'm going to delete it because I don't bother with these videos. I just come on here to chat, talk, and that's basically about it. As long as you hear it, that's basically about the end of it. If other people hear it, don't care. All right, gotta go.